Anthony Meeks.
Brandie Meeks, and this is
Franklin Boulevard Media. Well, I was born in Louisiana, Arkansas, and I've been here since I was 2 years old. And so basically you can say I'm from here. And grew up in Myrtle School. Well, my daddy was in the service. And he was stationed close here, and then North Carolina, where he wanted to stop in at.
I am originally from New York. I was born at Harlem Hospital, October 19, 1979. I lived in the Bronx until I was 3 years old, and then I moved back to this area because my mom was from here, so we moved back here where we have all our family at, and she didn't want to raise me in New York. Going to school, taking the bus, taking the subway. So here I am. I've been here. We moved to Ranlo, right outside of Gastonia. I went to Warlick Elementary. I have to throw that in. It was an elementary at that time. I went to Holbrook Middle School. It was a junior high then. Go Lions. And I graduated class of 98 from North Gaston, Noga.
Growing up in Myrtle, of course, going to T. Jefferson. You had your summer day camp in the summer. You had your different basketball leagues that we all done, participated in. And we also had something big back then called Fish Camp Jam. And, everybody was, all over top of that every year until, suddenly things took a change for the worse, and that event has never been back. But it's been a lot of things with me that has been interesting in my path of where I came from to where I'm at now. And again, like I said, coming up as in Myrtle, and then branching out, going into other neighborhoods and learning, different areas of the streets, I might say. It took a while for me to adjust, but surely, slowly and behold, I did adjust. And again, that brought me to the person that I am now. The streets taught me who I am right now.
What made you go to friendship?
Well, friendship, I was tired of the streets. I was ready to give up. I was surrender. I surrender. I want to give it all. Give it all up. And basically, I guess God knew my heart, and He knew where I stood and the stance that I was making, and He felt as if, okay, he mean this, and I really truly did. And again, that's where I went there, met my wife, and got a family, career just took off, and sky's the limit.
I stayed in Ranlo, which is, they call the Hole. We walked to school. There was no school buses for us in elementary. The only time we got a ride to school when it rained. We walked to school, from school, and I was there from elementary all the way up into, it was time to go to junior high. We had a neighborhood community. We didn't lock our doors. Everybody knew everybody. We knew every street, every swamp, every creek, walked through the woods. We just had me growing up, we had family. I don't think that we had friends. We were all just a big community, just family. And my friends that I grew up with, we're still friends today, like close friends. So I had the bomb. We had a bike club. We sold poke salad to the elderly. I was selling food. I was a hustler then. I didn't even know that that was still gonna be what I'm gonna be doing today. So, but yeah. So we had the park. We had the garden park. We would kind of branch out a little bit past the fire department, but not too much. We stayed in our own community, and like I said, we were family. So I enjoyed growing up in Ranlo. I didn't go off to school. I was a teen mom. I got pregnant my last year at Holbrook, which transitioned into North Gaston. So I went into high school as a teen mom. Never let that stop me, never let that deter me to do anything I wanted to do. In life, I had a very good support system. My family had my back. I had an amazing mother that, despite what the situation was, we were still going to make it. I had my daughter in 1995. I graduated on time, 1998, and bought a house in 2000. So I have been actually a homeowner now for 22 years. And what you see is what you get from me. You can put it in front of me and I'm just going to knock it down and just do what has to be done. So that's always been my motto, not let one thing or one situation or one event stop me from being who I know I'm destined to be. I was already at Friendship. I actually was there probably a year before Anthony joined Friendship at the time. And it was something about him. I was standing beside my cousin Tanya, and I was just saying, thank God that, the men are taking their rightful place. And I saw him and, I didn't think too much about it. Let him tell it. I was sweating him in church, but that's the story he liked to tell, so that's the story I let him give.
Well, like I said, pay attention to the word, like I told her, but she was wanting to indulge in who she was admiring. So
again, that's the story he likes to give. So that's the story I let him tell. We just celebrated 18 years of marriage. We dated a year and a half before we got married. A lot of people say that it's quick, but when God is in something, it is what it is, and we've been together ever since. And I'm happy to say that he is my husband and he is my friend.
Yeah, I was cooking at the house, and you had your family over, whatever, and fried chicken. I want you to do the fried chicken, fried chicken. So I would do the fried chicken and do other things, and some things I wasn't good at. So it was like I had to just continue to cook these things, certain things like mac and cheese. I couldn't do mac and cheese at first, so eventually I kept doing it. Learning, looking at G. Garvin, because G. Garvin was my guy. That was my go-to. I would look at every show, every episode, and I would just learn, and basically from that point, it just took off. Once different people started tasting the food, I go different places, people start tasting food, or we take food somewhere. And it just, and then I knew that it was my calling to be a cook.
Well, I can say is I was sitting at the hair salon, and we was having a conversation of meal prep, and one lady was saying, she wants to eat healthy, but she doesn't have the time. She can't fit that into her schedule, and that's really where it started from. We were doing a little events here and there for our friends and family, but the meal prep is actually what took off. And we wanted to be a little different with our meal preps. You buy your bag of potatoes, you buy your bag of chicken, and you buy your bag of green beans, and you cook that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, of course, Monday you're ready to go because you're excited about meal prep. Tuesday it's a struggle. Wednesday you tapping out, and Thursday you have already went up there to Peter Wheel. You was not eating the same thing again. So we did a little flip to how we created our meal preps. So we gave you a different meal every day. So basically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we did a different meal. You got a different dinner, a different lunch for the rest of the week. So that's why everybody was loving ours, because when you went to the refrigerator, you don't know what you're going to pull out, but you know it's going to be different. You're excited about what you're going to pull out. And we gave also healthy snacks with our meals as well too. So that was something that was kind of different from your average meal prep. After that, and the word got around, it was crazy. We was doing that in the house. We had like maybe 10 to 15 customers, and that's 10 meals. And so of course we couldn't handle that. It had got out of control, which is a good out of control, but It was definitely out of control. People started reaching out to us about different events they wanted to have and if we could, do that. So we were blessed to be at Friendship and be under amazing leaders that saw the talent and the gift that my husband had. And they said that we could actually use the commercial kitchen that was at the church. And that's how we was able to take on bigger events and bigger orders. For me, I understand that there's small beginnings, but I also believe that I always do things in decent and in order. That's just the way that I was raised. We can cook in the kitchen, but what is the ultimate goal? What is the bigger plan? So with that, we always knew that we needed to get paperwork involved, insurance. We need to speak to somebody who's already doing this so that we can actually, I don't want nobody to ever reach out to us and we have to say no. So I wanted to make sure that I had all my documents, all my paperwork in order so that I would never have to tell anybody no. And so we started thinking, okay, what is the next plan after cooking at the church? And that was to have our own. We were blessed to be able to have that opportunity, but there is nothing like having your own. And so basically we worked on that, and that's where we are today, Meeks on the Boulevard. I think that is one of my biggest accomplishments with my husband, besides my children, is just being that team player in his vision and to making that do what it do. A lot of people say, who is behind it? They think that, I do the cooking because I'm usually the one that's always talking, but it is his passion. But I tell everybody, he's my passion. So I'm going to do any and everything to make sure that the sky is the limit for him, not just in cooking, but anything that he has a vision to. I'm going to make sure that we can conquer the world together with it. That's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
That's where the magic happens on the Boulevard. Well, how Meeks Catering connected with Ram's Kitchen is because Danya Barber reached out to me and had a vision about that area being a food desert, and there was no place where they can, receive healthy meals. And so she was working on some things, and so she mentioned it to us. And from the very beginning, I never forget it, I told her, I said, if you start it, be ready, because people want to eat healthy. People don't have the time. There's not enough hours in the day for people to go shopping, to look up recipes, but that is their goal, to eat healthy. And so she met with us, asked us would we be interested. We went to the meetings of the Highland Neighborhood Association, just listened, gave some feedback since we was already in the food industry. And Ram's Kitchen was 5 years in the making. A lot of people think that this was something that just would blossom. No, we worked on this project for about 5 or 6 years now. And she asked us would we be a part, and we accepted. And Anthony actually took a leap of faith, left his job after 16 years at Train. That's his passion, cooking. My passion is people. I knew that we would take the same gift and talent that made Meeks Catering what it is today over to Ram's Kitchen, and it is booming. It's nothing like being around your people. It's nothing like showing the love to your community. Like I said, the community we have is family. Me and Anthony joke a lot that, one day he's gonna move. And I tell him I come visit him on the weekends. I don't live in a gated community, but I love the Highland community. It has so much rich culture and history. I love where I'm at. I love being a product of the product to the people in my community. So I don't want to take it. I mean, we can visit surrounding areas, but I want to make it so big. I would like to have a fleet of Ram's trailer going around, not just providing turkey burgers, but fresh produce and, medicine and, water and, teaching out of it, meal preps and, meal kits. Because, Highland is not the only food desert that we have in this county. But I like to tell my people, we're going to conquer this one community at a time. and we're going to get healthy one community at a time. So this is just Highland is just the start of what you're going to see, and that's why we are going to roll out with the staff that we have. Everybody know that there's a shortage in a lot of things, all the way from food to gas to people wanting to work. But at the end of the day, you take what you got and make it do what it do.
With where Gastonia is going, with the Fuse Stadium, with them bringing that in the area of the Highland community, it's a lot of building going on this side of town.
If we can support, if we can get that support system rich in culture, I think that, you know, you could have a kitchen that would serve a large capacity of the county, but not Meeks. One thing about us is we want to see everybody win. We don't want, you know, it get lonely if you get to the finish line by yourself, you know, and then don't have to stress about bringing people along with you. But if you can just all sit down at the table and get there together, that's what we have vision for this county. And it's so crazy because we just had this conversation. If you can take like multiple cooks, multiple people that have the passion and come to the table and just open it up. So that's the kind of vision that we have. We don't want it to be a Meeks kitchen. We want it to be something for chefs, for the culture. We were just throwing out names. If you can get 4 to 5 chefs on board and just open that up, and it just be a family where people just come in and eat and just have a good time.
You get enough people, the right people on board, I mean, that could be something really, really beautiful. I mean, and you won't have to work as hard.
So we'll go ahead so you can go ahead and start now. You say go the turkey burger recipe, go.
1, 2, 3.
Give us the turkey burger recipe.
Ground turkey.
Okay.
And seasoning.
What's in the seasoning?
It's different seasoning.
You have to taste it. You're gonna have to make sure you purchase enough of them. I would like to say, one no is not a permanent. I would like to say that just because it doesn't work the first time, try it again. And I would like to conclude and say this business is not always going to be easy. The food industry is not always going to be easy. It can break you down sometimes, but always remember that broken crayons still color.